we're 2 miles out. And it's really hard to have a reference point. It's hard for him to see me and do his trick at the right place.
Welcome to another episode of Photographer Profile. My name is Nathan Rupert. I started this podcast to give photographers a worldwide platform to share their work and stories. If you like people flying through the air, action photography, stick around. You are in the right place. We have Andre here. Hey, Andre, how are you doing?
Good. And you?
Great. Yeah, just give an introduction to the people about yourself and your photography.
My name is Andre. I'm actually from Brazil. I've been living in the US for 5 years now because of my photography work. I've been into sports since a really young age. I've done or tried most of the sports that I shoot. I was fortunate enough to have friends who got really good, so I started shooting them, and we kind of all went from there.
And are you a professional? Like photography is your main source of income?
Yes, photography and videography are my main source income.
And where are you based at? Just so people...
I'm based out of Laguna Beach, California, but right now I'm in Hood River in Oregon. I work a lot with kiteboarding and all the variations of wind sports. It has a really good scene. Gets the whole town gets pretty full of wind sports people, and so it's a good vibe.
Do they have wind sports at the X Games, or do they have any competitions like that?
They don't have wind sports at the X Games, but there is there are wind sports competitions. Yes, I would say that kiteboarding, it's a very European sport. Most of the brands are based in Europe, but to be honest, the weather in Europe can be a little rough. I don't know. I feel like here is nicer. Yes.
Well, let's take a look at your picture showcase. I picked one of the pictures that you sent me. I'm gonna share my screen real fast here. All right, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Just give us a background on this picture.
So this is Dylan Stark. Dylan is a pretty famous mountain bike rider. He has been to the Red Bull Rampage once or twice, and he's going to be on it this year as well. This was shot at his place in Lake Elsinore. He's a great guy to work with. He always goes big. I brought my flashes and lit up the sunset towards the end of the day. Another one of those beautiful Californian sunsets that you can't complain. I don't know, just a good day.
Did he ever fall, or did he land every single one of these shots?
The tricks that look good on photo, I would say most of the time they're not the hardest tricks, but they look really good for a photo. Most of the time when I'm shooting photos, there are no crashes, and I don't want anyone getting hurt just because of a photo, you know? You don't want to be the reason anyone got hurt.
This is his own custom setup, this right here?
Yeah. It's kind of like the backyard of his house, basically, yeah.
That's impressive, backyard. And I saw that you purposely kept that kind of out of focus part on the right hand side. Do you want to talk about that?
There is like a next jump there, and it's not fully done yet. But I'm kind of hiding the next jump because I don't want to show that he's still working on the setup, you know.
I love how you got it too at the perfect timing with the knee bent. Those almost look like leather pants. Are those leather pants too?
No, they're not leather pants, but they're like tight because as a rider, you don't want anything flapping that could potentially get like stuck on the bike. And some of those guys have sponsored by Levi's because Levi's makes those stretchy jeans, and you don't want anything extra drag, you know, to slow you down.
And this picture feels epic with no crowds around, no one cheering. It's like just a guy doing what he loves in his backyard.
I do shoot events with people around, but I have way more fun shooting when it's just me and the athlete and we can do whatever you want. It also gives you more options as a photographer. If there was a crowd, maybe I wouldn't be able to get this angle. Maybe I wouldn't be able to place the lights where they are because there would be people and, you know, so.
Okay, well, let's take a look at your next picture. Another epic location here.
So this is in Rio. This is the place where I'm from. And the rider, it's a good friend of mine. He got to like world-class level very young. So I've been shooting with him for over 10 years now. And he always goes the extra mile to make sure we get the best possible shot. To get this shot, I needed to swim maybe 2 miles out. Sounds bad, but it's not that bad because the current is not so strong. But yeah, because that mountain is so tall, in order for you to be able to use a long lens and compress the background enough for where it looks impactful, you need to be pretty far out. He needs to be doing his tricks way out there, which is really weird because it starts to be an open ocean situation, so the water is all wobbly, and it paid off. It all worked, and like this shot was published in a magazine recently.
Which magazine? Do you remember?
It's one of the major kiteboarding magazines called the Kite Mag. I got the cover of the magazine with a shot from this same session, but shooting the opposite way. Yeah.
Send me the cover. Send me the cover picture. I'll feature that.
Yeah, sounds good.
As well.
Yeah.
Did you see any sharks or any wildlife out there?
Luckily in Rio there are no sharks. It's very rare for people to see a shark. But I've been to Tahiti, and in Tahiti you see a shark every now and then, but it's a reef shark, so technically they're not dangerous, I guess. But yeah, I've never been in a situation where I was like proper scared of the marine life. I've been in a few situations with stingrays, you know. I feel like in a way stingrays are even scarier than sharks just because they're more unpredictable, you know. But yeah, I've never been scared of a shark or anything.
What is the name of that mountain? Do you know?
The mountain, it's in Portuguese, huh? So it's called Pedra da Gávea. It's just the name of the neighborhood where the mountain is on. It's very famous because you can hike all the way there from ocean level to the top, and it's maybe 2,000 feet tall. I'd say that if you haven't walked all the way up there and you were born in Rio, you're probably not going to be able to get a Rio driver's license. You know, they're going to ask you before. Oh, have you ever climbed up there?
It's a rite of passage, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He almost looks like he's free falling. If you didn't notice the little string above him, it looks like he's free falling into the ocean here.
Before we're going in the water, we were talking over which tricks he's gonna do and where he needs to be, you know, because if he was a little bit to viewers left, he would be against the mountain, so he wouldn't pop enough. And if he was too much viewers right, the mountain wouldn't be all there. And it's weird because we're 2 miles out, and it's really hard to have a reference point, and it's even hard for him to see me, and he still needs to do his trick at the right place, you know. There is a lot of communication. There's a lot of go this way. Like there's a lot of yelling to make this shot work, you know.
This is a very unique perspective, I would say.
Yeah, this is pretty scary because I'm facing the opposite way. The guy's coming from behind me. He's literally going on a rail over my head. There's a lot of trust in this.
He misses. He lands on top.
Yeah, at a 30 miles an hour or something. Yeah, it's not nice. I don't know. I've been shooting with him forever. Like, I know him since he was a kid, and we've shot so many times, so we have a lot of trust.
Pose and all the drops of water spraying everywhere. You can feel the action, the rush.
Yeah, like we tried so many times because it's such a fine line. If he comes with a little bit more speed, maybe he's gonna completely splash me. And if he comes with too little speed, there's gonna be no splash. You already have to do so much to get this shot.
A little sad you didn't get that many clouds or colors in your sunset there. Maybe you could try again.
It's really hard because it's so windy all the time. The wind blows all the clouds away very fast. When you have the situation in your hands that you are at a windy spot and there are clouds, like it doesn't matter if you have to pay to go shoot. Pay to go shoot because those are going to be the most unique shots you're ever going to get, you know. Even last night here, I'm editing and I look out of the window and I see all the clouds coming in, and I see that it's windy towards the end of the day. It's getting all sunsetty color. I just start messaging people like, guys, let's go shoot something because, you know, these things don't happen very often. And there was even some clouds to make it more dramatic. You gotta take those opportunities when they come.
Absolutely. Here's another cool action shot here.
So this is another kiteboarding shot. Like the whole point is trying to be like really low in the water with the water housing and trying to create the reflection because I'm lighting him up and then he's gonna reflect on the water.
Perfect. It's a perfect rainbow of spray.
Yeah. If you don't use the flashes, you would never see the spray. The spray kind of tells you the story of the trick, you know, like because it shows where he came from, where he actually took off from the water and start turning, you know. I feel like the spray is important.
This kite is very close to the water. It looks like he's about to be submerged, you know, pretty badly there.
In kiteboarding, there are a bunch of different disciplines, but this discipline is called freestyle. You're doing all the tricks that you would do on a wakeboard behind the boat, but instead of using the boat to pull you, you're using the kite to pull you. So it's just different disciplines, different like sides of the sport. And usually someone who is good on one, it's not good on the other one.
It's like he's kiteboarding on like Mars, another planet, or something like that.
This place is a lot like Mars. It's this place in Brazil, in the northeast of Brazil, that it's just sand dunes and lagoons really close to the ocean. We drive like these beachy buggies on the sand because there are no roads. The place is called Taiba, so in the very north of Brazil. It's a really tiny town, a handful of fishermen, and it used to be like a super poor place that no one wanted to go because it's so windy, you know. And then when kiteboarding came around, it brought all these people from all over the world to there, you know, to the point where Air France needs to have a flight straight from Europe to there.
Wow, they created a flight just because of kiteboarding.
Yeah, exactly. And like, and every day that the flight happens, the flight gets delayed because there's so many board bags going in that it takes them too long to put the board bags inside the plane. You know, it's like a whole thing. It's pretty incredible.
Look at your next one here.
Okay, so this is Colby Raha. Colby is X Games medalist on this discipline. It's called quarter pipe. He has this property in the middle of the desert. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say where this is, but it's in the middle of nowhere, and he built all these ramps for him to train. And yeah, it's insane.
Was this a fisheye? Was this a fisheye lens?
Yeah, I felt I should send you at least one fisheye shot, because in this action sports, the fisheye is almost like a necessity. You know, I don't feel like you can call yourself like a motocross photographer or whatever if you don't have a fisheye and if you don't enjoy using it. Most other photography fields, people wouldn't even have a fisheye, or they think the fisheye is the worst lens ever.
Here's the picture of the setup you sent me.
Yeah, so he's coming from the ramp on the right and landing on the bigger ramp on the left. On that fisheye shot, I'm on top of the bigger ramp, like kind of where the American flag is. And then the middle ramp is the one that they use for the X Games. So he built an even bigger one to go even higher than the X Games.
Wow.
Normal setup, whatever you want to call it, the standard setup. Yeah.
He's like, this X Games stuff is too easy for
me.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
He built these huge ramps, but he didn't build any lights next to them.
No, and even if he builds lights, he's going to build lights that work well for him, which doesn't necessarily mean that they would work well for photography. Because
True.
He needs to light up the stuff that he needs to see. With photography, of course, you need to light up this stuff so the viewer can see it, but you also need to light up in a nicer way. You know? It's very different.
True. Before we look at your last picture, do you have a dream shot? Or a dream athlete that you'd like to work with sometime? Any brand or anyone in particular?
Of course, there's always dreams. Like shooting for Red Bull was always a dream. They seem to be a brand that understand all the work that it needs to be done to get better images. That going the extra mile kind of makes it a better shot.
Yeah, you'll be shooting from helicopters working for Red Bull.
Sometimes it seems like so much work to get just one photo. You need to find someone who understands the value in that. You know, it's not everyone that understands the value in that. Sometimes I'm scrolling to Instagram and I see brands posting shots that are so bad. I'm like, who approved this? Like, how, what's going on here, you know? But yeah, I have guys that I've never shot that I would love to shoot. Imagine being able to shoot with Pastrana or Travis Rice, you know, I always loved the snowboarding, even though I'm from Brazil and there's not even anything close to snow in Brazil. But when the snowboarders go into street snowboarding and they're finding all these rails in the middle of little snow towns, and I just think it's so cool. But yeah,
have you ever applied for Red Bull? Applied for a job?
Yeah, no, I've tried. I've tried super hard. Trust me, I've tried super hard. It's the dream job by a mile.
Let's look at your last picture here.
So this is Metal Militia. It's in Temecula, in California. Metal Militia is a group of motocross athletes from the late 90s, early 2000s maybe, that kind of got together and built a brand. It's their own private compound. Just getting the invite to go there, it's already a gigantic honor. If I get a call, let's shoot a Metal Militia, I would stop everything and go.
Who is that? Who is that in the jump here?
His name is Koltin Polinsky. I think I shot with him a whole bunch in January, February.
He's barely hanging on for life in this shot at the very edge of the seat there.
For the photos, they're just doing their stock tricks in a really stylish way. because that's what works better for photos. You know, like compared to what he could be taking, it's not like gigantic risk.
This is
It
like going
makes
to the
this
grocery store for him.
exactly. You know, it makes this session a little bit more fun. And the vibes are not so stressed. Motocross is a tricky thing to shoot because those guys are traveling such long distances in the air that you end up making it a little hard to convey how far they're going. To be honest, if it was up to me, we would be shooting a different jump just because it makes it easier, and I don't feel going so long adds that much to how cool the photo looks.
Right.
For them, proving that they went that long, it's important, you know. So that's why I'm making sure like I'm framing in a way that shoots like all the bits that he's going across. That's also why it's important to know the sport and understand how the rider feels, because the rider wants to show how far he's going. So I need to respect and appreciate that too.
Well, you did a good job. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you if they want to schedule a photo shoot? Do you prefer your website, Instagram? How do you want people to reach out to you?
So I feel like nowadays it's all Instagram, but like yeah, my website works too.
Is there a better time of the year that you're more open to be able to do photo shoots?
I would say that the winter in California, I definitely have more open days from December to April or something. But yeah, if you want to do something around the world, just give me a call. I might be close to you by chance, and I'm also always willing to travel and get to know new places.
Have you been to San Diego?
Yeah,
before?
I go to San Diego a bunch. I live super close to San Diego. I live in Laguna Beach, so yeah, I go to San Diego almost every week. Yeah, because the Brazilian skateboarders, they try to have like a session all together, and a bunch of them live in like Oceanside, Vista, and there's this one Brazilian guy who has a ramp in his backyard in Vista, and we go there almost every week just to hang out, speak some Portuguese. I shoot some photos of all of them, and yeah, it's a really cool.
There's
vibe.
a lot of Brazilians in San Diego with jiu-jitsu, MMA.
Yeah. I never really got into the whole jiu-jitsu MMA thing. I did shoot MMA a little bit because some of those famous MMA guys, they are from Rio, and I grew up super close to them, and I've never done much myself. There's a huge Brazilian scene in California for sure. Yeah, I see that.
There's a foot volley group in San Diego too. They play.
Dude, that thing is so hard. It's incredible. Like you go to the beach and you just walk by them playing, and you're like, yeah, they're playing football. But like if you stop and watch and try, man, that thing is so hard to play. It might be harder than golf.
All right, well, I'll let you get some lunch. If you don't mind just sticking around here for a second, I want to make sure everything gets uploaded. Thank you so much for joining the podcast.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.